'Twas the season for Lovecraftian horror games at this month's Steam Next Fest Indie Game Showcase. And I'm not sure why, but it seems every developer went to the same workshop this year and wanted to put creepy fucking mannequins in pretty much every demo. Don't believe me? Keep a lookout for them. I'll make sure to showcase each one in this demo countdown, starting right now. In 10th we have Hellseed, with no clear date yet on release. But this one, yeah, I don't know man. I'm usually pretty clued on to the whole horror puzzler thing. Developers usually put tricky but not too difficult puzzles in front of you, and they are clever enough to make you feel like a legit genius when solved. But in Hellseed, I literally walked around a house for 21 minutes with absolutely no progress. Like, all I did was collect a can. The set was creepy enough, but I just missed something big time. I would love to know if anyone had the same experience, or am I just not the Sherlock Holmes I thought I was? Number 9 is Skald against the Black Priory, and it's not really a screamfest per se, but it had plenty of gore and dark fantasy themes. The retro art was really cool, and I felt transported back to Windows 95 era or earlier. I enjoyed the turn-based mechanics, and I was really getting invested in the whole story writing. But the demo let me down again, getting stuck about halfway through, and I had to go through this hedge maze thing. Spoiler alert, but not really. And I had done it, but I just started walking in circles after that. I will say though, if you are interested in retro style games, then consider this for your wishlist. Release date is for 2023 sometime. Spot 8 goes to Velaster. Now, a very tricky one to rate, as I did come across some pretty game restricting bugs, which is unfortunate because I was starting to pick up what Velaster was putting down. Another gore heavy game with Souls-like gameplay that's mainly a side scroller. At first I wasn't too keen on, and I'm still not actually, the control system. Using keyboard arrow keys for movement and ASDFC keys for major combat controls just felt counterintuitive. This game would be a million times better played on a controller. But I would be interested to see if this is purposefully done by the developers for something a little different and absolutely more challenging. I let that slide as I got into the game a bit more, and I was enjoying the exploring in the world, caves and all. But man, did I have some drama, as you can see here, and at crucial times like trying to devastate this boss. Even with these gripes, I'm hoping the developers can polish this one up a bit. I think there is still time. There is no planned release date as yet. Number 7 is the Cult of Chanseville, with a to-be-announced release date. I didn't hate nor love this demo. I thought the prison setting I was in felt creepy enough, and I mostly enjoyed the puzzles that were presented. But will this flip the industry on its head? Probably not, but I would still keep an eye on it leading up to release date sometime.
It reeks of sulfur and death.
6th spot is Darknot. Now, I could have probably rated this higher, but it certainly needed some polishing. But I could see through the roughness and found the hidden diamond, so to speak. Instantly, I was reminded of my Silent Hill days. A very spooky town with no backstory and very unique creatures of all sorts. Puzzles were really fun to figure out as well, and the process didn't feel too demanding. What I especially found the most interesting, and why I think this will be great to play once polished, is the survival system. You have to keep monitored, well, obviously your health and stamina, but also your sanity, body temperature, and invisibility to monsters, which, if I remember correctly, has to do with what you're wearing, keeping your clothes clean, etc., so bad dudes can't sniff you out. Plus, there is a crafting system as well. I like this one. I think put it on your wishlist. Number 5, Go Home Annie. Quite an interesting one, this one, and I definitely wanted to delve more into the story of it. Spoiler alert, well, sort of again, because it becomes apparent pretty quickly, but the game throws you into a spooky house with really awesome puzzles to figure out by the way of this handheld video recorder, and watching playback of footage to figure out the next clue to the sequence. I really enjoyed that, but this is where it got interesting. After solving the puzzles to this house, everything changed instantly, and that was just a simulation. Apparently I'm a worker who studies paranormal events by the way of these sims run by these dudes from SCP. It went from classic horror to Portal on the flick of a switch, with an obvious cliffhanger at the end that forced me to want more. Keep this one on your radar, but no release information as yet. Fourth is Lazaret, and if you get motion sickness, then fair warning, you're on a swaying ship the whole time. Apart from that, which really isn't that bad to be honest, I think it just adds to the atmosphere and this real claustrophobic feeling to the whole game. But this demo was very solid. Jump scares were there, if not predictable at times, but I have a feeling the developers are just warming up. There will be more opportunities to poop your pants. I loved that the game was so dark, with the flashlight being only your main source of light at times, making you feel like you're literally walking around an abandoned ship. I even felt cold at times for some reason. The controls are easy and fluid, puzzles were great, and I like that you have this constant feeling of being hunted, needing to hide when things get a bit how you going, a la Dead by Daylight style. Oh, nearly forgot to mention, you have a dedicated whistle button, you know, like whistle like, and if some creeper is near you, they will actually whistle back. Apparently it helps keep them at bay. Fucking no thank you. No date on this one, but give it a wish list. Third goes to Decarnation. Boy, how do I sum this up? It's not a traditional horror in the sense, no jump scares or first person narrative, but if you're a fan of writing by David Lynch, then you will love this. I got so much Twin Peaks vibes. I'm mainly not one to read dialogue in games, but man did this playthrough have me invested. I need to know more, goddammit. Don't even get me started on the gorgeous pixel art. And minigames. Minigames in a horror game, people. I loved it. Don't be fooled by its cutesy charm though. There were plenty of what the fuck moments, gore, and some really unsettling subject matter as well. So I reckon if you're up for all that, don't snooze on Decarnation, releasing sometime next year. In second spot and winner of most effed up is Anthology of Fear. Not effed up in the sense of cheap jump scares, etc., but the way you flow through this narrative is incredibly interesting. Literally never knowing what will be waiting for you around the corner. I feel, from my experience, that there is going to be a very dark backstory that unravels with this game, but I'm not sure if I want to be part of that or not. The game feels polished already, neat, and different puzzles kept me amused. The sound design was great as well, and the general atmosphere of the demo felt very real. On a side note, I think this game would work really well as a VR title separately. Oh, I didn't mention that at one point I was talking to a friggin' giant eyeball. Check it out.
Do you remember, Alice? What is Emily's story? Of course you don't. What kind of a mother are you?
This one is planned to release Jan next year, so stamp it on your wishlist card now. Number 1 for the Screamfest goes to Afterdream. Now, originally I didn't have this game so high, probably in like 4th posse, but after some more thought, I think this one is deserved of top rank. I'll tell you why. It's because it doesn't really fit in the traditional sense of horror. Well, not my type of horror anyway. But it's this constant sound design that literally has you on the edge of the seat this whole way. A constant build-up, a crescendo to I'm really not too sure what, but I need to get there. There were some creepy moments, but I just loved how this game was telling its story. The incredible art design, this like dissected apartment where you're looking straight into it, the unique manner of which you use your camera gear to spot clues, making the whole problem solving that little bit better. And don't get me started on the lockpicking I did. I love me a great lockpicking mechanic in a game. This game is insanely different, and I look forward to its release in March next year, hopefully. Straight on the wish list. And so there you have it, my friends. 10 creepy indie games to keep on your radar throughout the course of next year. I know we got some great AAAs coming out shortly as well, so it's a good back end of the year to all my horror game fans. I hope you enjoyed the video, and stab that like button like it's the scene from Psycho. Oh, I hope I'm allowed to say that, actually. Sorry, YouTube. Oh well, it's Halloween month after all. Do the other sweet YouTube stuff as well, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, happy gaming. Bye.